Not me saying all of that and then stop anyway. I don't even know where I'm going with this now. I don't know if you guys learned a lot about John. Anyway, cut a long story short, he's relevant because he helped Darwin prove his evolution theory and stuff. So, yeah.
Darwin and his evolution theory. It was just a theory. None of the early scholars actually believed him at all. Did not even believe him. He didn't believe himself. He didn't prove his theory, obviously, because he couldn't prove his theory.
Yeah.
But they didn't take it seriously.
No, they didn't.
At all. But how history has been written, it's as though they did take it seriously.
Yeah.
They didn't.
They didn't, yeah.
And it's still a theory till today, but yet people are running around thinking it's the gospel. It's not the gospel.
But I get what you mean. But I find that's what I find very interesting about. That's what I find interesting about that's what I find interesting about people wanting to hold on to how we used to live. Because the people that wanting to hold on to how we used to live or how humans lived, but then the people at that time weren't holding on to it as tight as you guys are trying to hold on to it. Life evolves, society evolves. So when people feel like, no, this has always been the belief and this is always the truth and this is always da-da-da-da, it's funny because the people that you're looking at as they knew, they're the idols of knowledge, didn't. Do you get what I mean? History is just written in a way where you can now believe that, yeah, they knew best, but it was winging it. Each generation just winging it and seeing what sticks.
I went down a big rabbit hole with the whole creationist versus evolutionist argument. And the amount of data I now have in my head on recent studies, oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get back to
Mr. John Edmondson. I actually feel like they didn't hear the part, you know.
Huh?
I don't feel like they heard anything about this man.
Nah, they did.
Okay, and then what else is there? So we can't be sure that Darwin himself prepared all the bird skins. That's the worst experiment I could ever imagine. Me being part of an experiment to do birds. Gosh, it's making me sick because I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so thanks to Edmondson's teachings, Darwin's preservation skills were put to great use during his voyage on the HMS Beagle. We can't be sure that Darwin himself prepared all the bird skins, since specimen preparation was something that was carried out collectively on the Beagle. However, the skills that Darwin learnt from Edmondson would have been passed down to his assistants. I do wonder, though, when we do Black history stuff like this, if some of the things, it's actually Black people that created it, were actually the ones that found it, but because of what it was back then, they weren't allowed to take ownership of it. Because we've had a few Black people that have helped all these white people create great things. Yeah. But how do we know? Yeah. It wasn't just you're a slave, so let me run with that idea for you. Let me help you.
Yeah. How I process it in my head, if a Black man or Black woman is involved any which way, I just say it's them.
It's them.
They're responsible.
Well, we couldn't find any actual sayings from him, any quotes or famous sayings. But, however, said by Darwin in his autobiography, a Negro lived... Do you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? A Negro, he helped you.
The language of the time.
A Negro lived in Edinburgh who had travelled with Waterton and gained his livelihood by stuffing birds, which he did excellently. He gave me lessons for payment, and I used often to sit with him, for he was a very pleasant and intelligent man. Say his name then. I said a Negro lived.
How they used to talk back in the day.
Ye old days. Anyway, our next icon for today is Yvonne. Every time I say the name Yvonne, I remember William from Girlfriends. He's called his girl Yvonne. I love Yvonne, actually. But Yvonne Connolly. And her birth date is in 1939 and she passed away in 2021. So Yvonne Connolly arrived in the UK from Jamaica. You know, my ops are going to say that I cut the stream when it was a man. And then now it's a woman. All of a sudden, it's so clear. I'm never being these allegations.
Never.
So Yvonne Connolly arrived in the UK from Jamaica in August 1963 as part of the Windrush generation with just £36 in her pocket. She had trained for 3 years as a primary school teacher in Jamaica before taking the decision with her expat teacher friend Elizabeth Haybird to come to Britain on what at the time was described as a banana boat, one of the many ships that brought over thousands of workers from the Caribbean. As a supply teacher, in Thorpe Park or Chessington, there used to be like a banana ride. And there was a boat and it would just swing.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
You were holding up the vestiges of slavery with that one.
There must have been. Is that the ship in that Daryl showed us in London? Well,
I remember that banana ride.
do you remember?
Yeah, it was a large banana.
Yes, it was.
Banana boat, I called it.
Crazy.
Banana boat.
Okay. So as a supply teacher, Yvonne Connolly was very aware that there were racial tensions in a number of schools where she taught. This was to become more evident to her as her teaching career progressed. Connolly was appointed teacher at the George Eliot School in Swiss Cottage, North London. Here for 5 years, she excelled and eventually became deputy head of the primary school, despite originally planning to return to Jamaica after 3 years. Why is she important? What are her contributions? Let's know. In January 1969, and much to her surprise, Connolly was offered a promotion to become head teacher at Ring Cross Primary School on Eden Grove in Holloway, Islington. At just 29 years of age, she was the country's first black female head teacher. That's amazing. After being appointed to this position, Connolly received racist abuse and required a bodyguard to accompany her to work. Her appointment to the post, like I won't put your child in detention. Her appointment to the post attracted much attention from the British media, and she was subjected to repeated attacks in some national newspapers, as well as receiving hate mail at home. In an interview, she remembers, "When I was appointed as head teacher, somebody threatened to burn the school down. I had newspaper articles which had announced my appointment sent to me, crossing out my photograph with nasty comments. Happily, the parents were only interested in whether their children would get a very good education, and that certainly was my focus." Carrying the responsibility of being the first ever black female head teacher in the country, it was the reason she gave for setting up the Caribbean Teachers Association. Oh, is your dad part of that? Your parents part of that? Oh, sick.
Both parents, yeah.
That's amazing. This was to give confidence and practical advice to black teachers who wanted to become school head teachers. Connolly spent 9 years as head teacher of Ring Cross Primary School, and in 1978 she left to take up a position as a member of the multi-ethnic inspectorate created by the ILEA, which is the Inner London Education Authority. As an inspector, she looked into how to deal with racism, in particular examining schools in Camden and Islington. In addition, she was an active voice in the Home Secretary's Advisory Council on Race Relations. In 2020, she became the recipient of the Honorary Fellow of Education Award at the NAS Legacy Foundation annual reception. She was also made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, for her service to British education. The UK Department of Education described her as a history maker and an inspiration who leaves a lasting legacy. Famous quotes by her: "I think what has changed here is the nature of racism over the years. It used to be crass, no dogs, no Irish, no blacks. Now it is very different, more subtle. That's why institutions have to question themselves at every point. They need to think about how fair they are really being." Word. Oh, I didn't even see her. "I have a theory that you are never ever going to get rid of racism completely." Oh, bless her. Oh, she looks so sweet. That's another quote from her. "I have a theory that you are never ever going to get rid of racism completely." Imagine if she was allowed to hear what everybody not saying on a regular, shaking in her boots. And then the last quote from her is, "Using representatives from different ethnic groups to show achievement can help children to realize that I can do it too." That's interesting. Because that's about, what's the word Iman always uses? It's about representation. Does he believe in representation?
Emmanuel?
He said we should do for self, innit?
Yeah,
Rather than trying to get...
believes in representation. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So she says using representatives from different ethnic groups to show achievement can help children to realize that I can do it too. So big up Yvonne Connolly and big up John Edmonstone.
Can you remember your head teachers?
I was talking about Mr. Cross yesterday. He's a white man. Bullers, and I was talking about because we're talking about when it snows and whatnot, and how the UK is very bad with weather-wise when in the trains and whatever else. And basically, before then, whenever it snowed, we just wouldn't go to school. Like if it was bad snow, but with him, that man said, "You're coming to school." He said, "Wear wellies." Like, and then he want us to when we get to class, change the wellies, and it's like, bro, like, and then because where Bullers, like where my school is, it's woods, like where, well, it's called Bullers Wood, but ironically, there's literally like woodland around. So when you're going from like, say the English department to the humanities side, we have to go through the woods, like they cleared the path and whatever, but we're always through. So when it snows, just slipping and sliding all over the place. That man did not care. That man said, listen. So sometimes all the schools in the area will be closed. All the schools in Bromley and Chislehurst will be closed. Well, guess who's going in? The Bullerswood girls. We are going in. So I was talking about him. I remember my head teachers were from Nigeria. I went to a school called Rainbow College, and that was Miss Ojudo, I believe. And in my primary school.
How did she carry herself, or how did he carry himself? With an
confidence.
air of what? It's like a different...
They were like... But you know what's so funny though? You know how like when you're a kid, you just feel like adults are such big people.
Yeah.
But then some of them like they're big people, but it's like, you're a big person.
Yeah.
But like I feel like with like the head teachers, you're like, oh my God, head teachers coming, and then you just start like running them like.
Even the teachers were scattering.
Yeah, it was.
Like they were the grandfathers and grandmothers.
Yeah, literally.
And
You're like these literally
the
figures.
reverence that you had for them was different. They carried themselves.
And then you know, like when you have those deviant kids, that would have the cheek to like talk back to you, you're like, oh. You took me so cross like that, and they'd just be like, you know, we're going to sit outside my office, and it's just like, it's a long day for you.
Anybody, I can remember where the head teacher's office was, right? And there used to be a little courtyard, a square courtyard, that separated the hall from his office. And sometimes during the summer, like if there are any bad behaving children in that particular office, you'd hear that Mr. Harvey would be billowing. Ooh, it would cut clean through. And he was old school Jamaican. Old school Jamaican.
That's tough.
And he used to be a preacher too.
Oh.
So his articulation,
double homicide. That's not
thunder.
That's a lot.
And he didn't pet, he didn't play. And if a child basically talked back to him, they would hear about it. And he would talk to them, He would call them out their name. They would call them mother too, as in whilst they brushing them down. Say the mother's name, the father's name, because he would know them personally.
Because he would know them.
Yeah.
But those are the best teachers.
Just remind them, I know
your parents.
I know Jenny, I know Jenny, Don't let me pick up the phone right now.
Don't make me call Jenny.
Right now. I don't know who you're playing up for.
Yeah, like as a kid, one of the worst I could say is don't be acting in front of your little friends. What?
But it was no audience, it was just him. It was just him. It was just him.
Nah, big up the teachers, man. Like, there's some teachers that I really remember. Like, I was talking about one of my other teachers. She was South African, Miss Peterson. Like, I now realized when I was talking about her the other day that she is the first evidence of shade I ever knew, and I grew up to I aspired to be like her. Like, she was so shady and like, but you know the teacher, she'd just be like, that's all right. Like, she was an English teacher.
Yeah.
So sometimes when people were moving mad, like she would just drop a line. She'd just be like, it's all right anyway. The only English you ever need is, would you like fries with that?
Wow.
And that's it. That's all she's got to say to you. And that's okay. And then she'd be like, I know you're going to be giggling and, boys. And like, she would just really make, like, it was so funny as well because she hated year sevens. She hated year sevens. Because she's like, they're just babies. And then she's like, they don't know that you're in secondary school, you need to grow up.
Yeah.
And she was like, she hates when they see them, like, when they see her, like, in Sainsbury's or something. Like, oh, miss. And she'd be like, yeah, I shop as well. Like, I have to eat. I loved her so much.
Was she black?
She was South African, no.
Okay.
But she wasn't white. She's like mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like mixed race, I believe. But she was so lovely. I remember I had Mr. Johnson as well. He was an IT teacher. He was Caribbean. He's from Barbados, actually. He was lovely as well. I like the teachers that were like just disciplined.
What was his name? Our IT teacher. He always used to wear black because he was still not mourning, but I guess remembering his wife's death every single day.
Oh, that's sad.
He was a bit of a creep. Mr. George. I think his name is Mr. George. I can't remember.
Creep how? Because creep means many things today.
Like his jeans were always tight, right?
So you can see bulge.
I think so, and I don't want to be
You probably did it on purpose.
bad on his
Why didn't they-
image, but I think so.
Why didn't that against the school conduct?
I believe so, and he always used to basically be too friendly with the girls. Always too friendly.
Yeah.
And
That's
then there was
creepy.
rumor with him and Miss Mahaffey. She was the Irish lady that slept with one of the students. Yes, Miss Mahaffey.
She's a pedophile.
120% before we even knew what a pedophile was.
How old was the kid?
Probably 15.
Did she go to jail?
I don't know if she went to jail.
Or was it rumors around the school?
To be honest, she didn't say that she slept with him. It was the guy. It was the guy Warren.
So Warren just going
He
around
was the one
saying,
saying,
we're bragging.
Clapped it. And the thing is,
Was she buff?
did you try to catch me saying a white woman's buff?
No, I definitely didn't even think that, you know. 'Cause I just thought...
I think she was pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, she was pretty.
'Cause I was just thinking if she was like an old lady teacher,
No, she wasn't.
he wouldn't think he should be
No,
bragging.
she wasn't. I think everybody
She's like fresh out of
looked
university.
at Miss Mahaffey and like all of the male teachers,
So all of a
they
sudden-
were going goo goo gaga.
It couldn't have
When it
been
is
for
that she was
Warren.
spending time with Miss, I think his name was George. I can't remember, but
It couldn't have been Warren.
What?
If all the teachers are like it, because you know teachers like that, they're weird. It's pedophilia.
Warren used to be an ex SDA, 70 Adventist, yeah, SDA. Came from the church, like, a church.
They're but a church. Yeah. The best of them do. The best of them do. That's interesting. That's so interesting. But then
Yeah.
didn't the school pull that up? Because if there's a rumor like that, I would expect the school to investigate.
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean? Because that's harmful. For there to be rumors that this teacher slept, like a kid is going around bragging that he slept with a teacher is
yeah.
wild.
It is wild, isn't it? It is
I was like, I
wild.
can't believe you just said that as if it was. I thought it was like a court case. The way you said that, you had me call the woman a paedophile.
Was it Stephen that told me this? I think it was Stephen, and then it was corroborated by somebody else. Can't remember.
That's crazy. That's disgusting, though.
Yeah, but them South London schools were different, man.
There's a teacher like that in America, though. I can't remember her name now, but she's like a coach. Like she like the way she is because she's a basketball coach or something like that, and they've got like a TikTok, like their school and whatever. Like they go viral and whatever. Brent, she's like a mother, like a mentor to these girls and whatever. She said one of their boyfriends.
Oh, serious?
She's facing jail time now, though. Yes, sicko. She's married as well. I think she's got kids and whatnot. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't understand.
She white?
Black woman. Black woman with black kids, black everything. And then I think she was taking pictures of the guy, or like, it's something to do with Snapchat. And then the poor girl was a girl on her team. The girl on the team, is she even the star player or something? I think she's the star player. She's like the most popular one on the team. So very crazy. I remember going down the rabbit hole at the time. I was thinking, this is, yeah, under the jail, man.
Different level type of sickness chasing that type of thrill.
It's crazy.
In that position.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. We had a black teacher. Well, he was like the only black young teacher. And I love the girls because my school was the only girls' school, and I love the girls really liked him. Yeah. But it's just the thing, like that must be so uncomfortable for you as a teacher. Yeah. I don't know if he like played into it, whatever it was, but it was uncomfortable, and like for me to witness. But I can't imagine for him as well, because you have to be very careful. One of these kids just don't like you for anything could happen. It's crazy, man. But but teachers are crazy. Interesting people. Yes, that's it for the black segment. Black segment. For what's it called? I was about to say Black Lives Matter. What's wrong with me? The Black Lest We Forget segment. Let's get into our headlines. All right. First one, trigger warning. Drone attack kills 4 Israeli soldiers and injures more than 60. So 4 soldiers have been killed and more than 60 other people injured in a drone strike targeting an army base in northern Israel, the IDF has said. The IDF added 7 soldiers had been severely injured in the attack on a base adjacent to Binyamina a town around 20 miles to the south of Haifa. Hezbollah, that's right, Hezbollah has claimed responsibility for the attack, which it said targeted the training camp of the IDF Golani Brigade in the area, which is based between Tel Aviv and Haifa. The armed group's media office said the strike was in response to Israeli attack in southern Lebanon and Beirut on Thursday. The group said it targeted the camp in northern Israel using a swarm of drones. The Israeli ambulance service, Magen David Adom, MDA, said 61 people had been injured in the attack, including 3 critically. It added 37 of them had been taken to 8 regional hospitals, either by ambulance or helicopter. Is this ever going to end?
Nope.
That's crazy. All right, our next headline. A man in illegal possession of a shotgun and a loaded handgun was arrested at the intersection near Donald Trump's rally in Coachella, California on Saturday, police have said. The 49-year-old suspect, Vem Miller, was driving a black SUV when he was stopped at a security checkpoint by deputies who located the 2 firearms and a high-capacity magazine. Multiple passports with multiple names and multiple driving licenses were found in the car, the sheriff said, adding that the license plate was homemade and not registered. The incident, which occurred at 4:59, an hour before Trump was scheduled to appear on stage, highlights once again the intense security operation around him and the dangers facing the former president with just over 3 weeks to go until the election. Ooh, only 3 weeks now. Mr. Miller was then taken into custody without incident, the Riverside County Sheriff's Office said, and booked on possession of a loaded firearm and possession of a high-capacity magazine. The U.S. Secret Service said Trump was not in any danger, adding that the incident did not impact protective operations. A local sheriff called the suspect a lunatic, and his office added the encounter did not affect the safety of Trump or the rally's attendees. And our last headline in the segment, China is holding military exercises around Taiwan in what it calls a stern warning against those seeking independence for the self-ruled island. The drills were seen as a response to a speech by Taiwanese President William Lai last week, in which he vowed to resist annexation by Beijing. China sees Taiwan as a breakaway province, but the island sees itself as distinct and has its own government and military. Taiwan's Ministry of Defense has issued a strong condemnation for such irrational and provocative behavior by China. The ministry said it has dispatched appropriate troops to protect freedom, democracy, and sovereignty. It also said President Lai's speech last week highlighted his commitment to maintaining peace and stability. In the face of threats, the military said it will prepare for war without asking for war. That's it for headlines in the segment. Let's get into what you saying topic of the day. All right. Did you guys talk about this on Friday? I thought you did.
No, we were supposed to, but it was the Dynamo season.
Okay, so today we're talking about designer babies. And is choosing race a step too far? Is it ethical? So Brent has got a clip to play. And then, yeah.
Let's see.
What day? What day, love?
I realize every time you yawn or sigh after a long haul, you say, "Oh, what a day."
I always say, yeah. Sometimes I just wake up. My mum was like, "You just wake up." I said, "Yeah, it's what a day already." I had like 8 what a days on Saturday. It's crazy. All right, let's see. Let's see people designing their babies. What does that mean?
Is this the right clip?
What does the caption say?
Bought my first house at 24 years old in 2020.
Unless it's a black baby in that black Mac, I don't think we got the right link.
Let me click this link again, just to double check. Slide through the pictures to reveal. Okay, maybe it is the right one.
Okay. Or not? Did she get black baby to match a black car? Could you imagine?
Let me take this. audio off. This is going to get
flagged.
flagged. Turn 25. There we go. All right, pictures are up. Bought my first house at 24 years old in 2020. Let me put it up so you can see it.
Wonderful.
Turned 25 in the May of 2020. At this point, I'd been single 8 years.
Okay.
The thought of wanting to be a mum was consuming me, so I decided to look into IVF using a sperm donor.
Okay.
Decided to go ahead with treatment in July 2020. Not a needles, mine. Not needles. Was super lucky. My first IVF attempt worked and announced my pregnancy in October 2020. Had my beautiful son, Noah, in May 2021. Noah is now 3. I work full-time for the NHS, have my own business, and currently studying a master's degree. I am still single, but now finally content. To all the people who said I was stupid, for having a baby on my own, I'd say I'm doing pretty well. I mean, that's what your caption says.
Sure. You already told us. You can't say you're going to do... Girl, you already told us.
Oh, man. All right. All righty.
There is a fetishization that needs to be spoken about when it comes to some... I don't know if white men have it, but we've definitely... What I've seen is definitely white women wanting to have mixed race kids. Because I feel like they just view the babies as tanned. Like the babies are the tan goals they want to have. And I think it's sick.
This is something I have never encountered before, so I've never looked to process it, right?
Like a white woman wanting to have your sperm.
I've just flipped it even. Because if a black woman
yes,
has divested from black men,
yes,
let's just say that's the standard,
yes,
right? And she's now dating white men.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If she now decides to go and do this, in my mind, she's going to get sperm from a white donor.
Okay, this is a woman that's deviated from black men.
Yes.
You know, I say to her? She's a weirdo.
So if she is there dating black men, divested from white men, right? It makes sense for her to go and get a black man's sperm, right?
You can't trick me. You will not trick me. I think it's a fetish, but I also think it's a fetish though for black women who would say, because again I don't know if black men have these conversations, but I've seen women do. Where if it's a thing where you want to have children because you're like, oh, I want the hair to be a certain texture.
Yes.
That's weird. That's also a fetish.
Yes.
It's weird. Everybody's sick.
Yes.
I think that if you're going to go down the sperm donor route, I think that you should only legally be only allowed to take the sperm of where you are from. You can't diversify the sperm, no. No, you're not allowed.
Why?
You're not allowed.
If you're allowed,
weirdo.
If you're allowed to basically date whomever you want.
Yes.
Without the jab.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the jab, can you not also pick?
I think that because I don't know how IVF works, to be fair. Like, what is IVF? Is it random sperm or is it your partner's sperm? I don't know.
I think this particular one, she's obviously gone to like a sperm bank type of thing.
Yeah, so I feel like, say for example, she's a woman who only dates, I've got to read backgrounds. If she's a white woman who only dates black men, yeah. The benefit of you dating a black man was that you would have had a mixed race child. If the black man is not alive, present right there in your relationship with you, you don't get to manufacture your own black child.
Interesting.
No, it's not a privilege you get. No, like, do you get me? No. So I feel like in the same way, if for example, if they're say it was a white woman with a black guy, but for whatever reason they have to do IVF, but they can't use his sperm. I can understand wanting your child to be part of both your cultures. I can understand then going for a black sperm donor. I can understand that. But if you're just solo you, single Pringle, and the choice you made was to go for a race that's not yours, I just think it's weird.
All right, I think you just said something. Question. So if there is a white lady dating a black man, but they can't have children because his low sperm count or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep on the man here for purposes of this example.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Are you saying that she should be allowed to go and get
black sperm?
A black sperm because of that? Suppose she wants white sperm. Would you deny her that?
No.
Because why?
Because she wants white sperm.
Because it's a problem.
I only want black sperm where black sperm is going to be loved and accepted. Yeah. I don't want token black sperm. So if you don't want black sperm, then leave the black sperm for people that are going to have the black sperm and are going to treat black sperm with love and care and attention that the black sperm needs.
I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Let's go.
Let's just say on your form, when you go into the sperm bank to make that donation, on the form it says, do you date white women? Right? That is a big tick. Pew!
Yes, I do.
Can that sperm be given to this young lady?
Okay, so basically she's got consent from the black sperm for it to be given to a white woman.
Because he only wants his sperm.
Fair. If it was any sperm with a white egg, fair. Because that black man has chosen where he wants his sperm to go. That's fair. However, if we're able to just shop, because you know what it is. Because again, obviously everyone knows that. Oh gosh,
that might be true. That might. I have never seen one of these forms. I don't know the submission
criteria.
I really don't know. But maybe they do say who would you like it to go to.
Yeah. Like if you're opposed, because in my mind, if I was a man, and obviously a black man, and I was donating my sperm, I would be like, no, blacks only, to procreate with my sperm.
Because I'm going to see my face somewhere.
Somewhere, and I don't want to be mixed. Or I don't want it to be like in a white household. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know.
Because I feel like, because my thing is, because even
what you mean?
Even in interracial relationships, I think there is a responsibility. I feel like if you're going to have a black child in this world, mixed race or whatever the case might be, the parents have a big responsibility. So this is why I don't rate these kind of things where it's like you just have it because you feel like mixed race children are cute and it's beyond their cuteness. They're going to go out into the world that hates their skin, that tries to break them down, that tries to call them ugly, that tries to make them feel like they're less than, that do you know what I mean? That they're less than. So you as the parent have a responsibility to pour and feed life and love into this child. To pour and feed life into this child, knowing about their culture, knowing about their roots, knowing about the history of their people. So if you're going to be a lazy parent, like being the parent of a mixed race child, being the parent of a black child is not, let me say a mixed race child. Being in an interrelationship where you're going to be the parent of a mixed race child who is black is hard work. You can't afford to be lazy. Don't have mixed race children who their hair you don't know how to deal with. Now you just got them looking like, I don't even know what you got them looking like, but you don't have them looking unkempt because you don't want to take the time to educate yourself on how to care for their hair, on what moisturizer they need for their skin. Do you get what I mean? So that's why I'm just like, it's not a preference. No, it's not a preference. If you want to date somebody, that's fine. That black parent will be there, hopefully with their sense on, to be able to advocate for that child. But if you're a white person, just a single person, and you want to just be having mixed race kids for the fun of it because you like how they look, sorry, that's a sickness.
Obviously, there's no guarantee that this is the woman's life that you've just basically spoken about.
No.
Yeah.
We don't know this woman's story. We just know she got a nice Mercedes and a black child to go with it.
Good morning, Abby.
Morning, Abby.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm alright, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, babe.
I thought I'd call him because I saw her video in the weekend, and I thought it was quite crazy, and I went through like some of the comments and stuff to add some details. She didn't pick this from the UK. She actually got this shipped over from the US. Now, apparently the US system is different. You can actually pick the donor that you want, the color and every details, and she paid $100K for that. So that was purposely chosen. And then in the comments, she also said that, because someone was questioning this, she said that she hoped that he wouldn't be, well, he'd be treated essentially the same as a white person, and she doesn't really essentially believe that he will experience racism. So to me, that is a whole other issue. She doesn't understand that actually, even though he's mixed race, he will still be encountering those kind of issues, especially with the fact that he doesn't have any black member, well, black family, any kind of like contact with that. She just has mixed race, and she lives in an area that is very white.
Oh,
So I find this very, very shocking.
I think it's weird. It's definitely a fetish. Because I've heard.
I mean, I understand that some of the comments were saying, she should have a right to essentially be having a black child if she's been dating other black people in the past. But it's more like, for me, it's more like, how is the child going to be growing up when he has no connection to the culture at all?
Exactly. And yeah.
And you don't even believe that he might be encountering racism in England.
Yikes. But that's the thing, because that's why I feel like if you're someone who, say your preference as a white person, your preference is only to date black men, for example, like, then quote unquote benefit of you dating that black man is that you would get to have a mixed child. But like you said, Abby, that man will have family. That man can have a say in like how his child is brought up. Like, he can educate his child and stuff like that. But if you're just going shopping and you just pick up a black, that's what it feels like. You went shopping. With love and light to her that her IVF worked, but you went shopping and whatnot, and you just picked up a black child for the sake of it. I don't know, man. I think it's distasteful. It ain't it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's the fact that she actually went through going overseas to you that when you think about it, because I didn't know about that, but black donors are apparently rare in the UK. So
she sought,
even, well, yeah, exactly. She sought to do that. And if black people are wanting to also go through IVF and really and truly they also want black children, they're not going to be able to get that opportunity because you've taken it away from them.
Word.
I think it's also that to consider is the fact that you thought it was okay to do that when it's a rare thing. So how is it okay for you to do that when there's black people waiting in the line to have a black child?
Yeah, that's actually true. I didn't even think about the people that would actually want black people that would actually want black sperm and then they're unable to because the white people have taken it out. Do you know how that is?
Yeah, I just find it very distasteful. I understand that I guess everyone can do what they want, but I find it very weird. And apparently, you can't really do that in all countries, like Norway, but other countries they don't allow you to do that. You can only pick a donor of your color, actually.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad. But I was thinking, what was I gonna say? Crap. Yeah, I can't remember what I was gonna say now. That's annoying.
So you really have a big issue with this, Abby?
Yes, I do. I just don't understand why would you go the extra length of even paying an extra K on the procedure to pick specifically the donor. That to me is not making sense. And then just the fact that she doesn't even realize that he's going to encounter some issues in his life with the fact that people are going to be wondering, why have you picked a black donor? Like, everyone's going to be asking this. So to be then say, well, she doesn't have a response essentially. So for me, it just shows that it's just fetishization, and it opens the door to other issues of people then getting in a relationship specifically to get mixed race babies, which like as you said, Esther, it does happen. And I don't think we talk enough about that, how fetishized black people are. Like, they don't even see us as people, they see us as object and how we look. They want the features, but they don't realize that actually it comes with a responsibility.
Absolutely.
And if it were a black woman picking a white donor, would you have an issue with that?
Some people put that, they actually did say that about how Naomi Campbell did that, and she's got mixed race babies. I was thinking about this actually. I don't know if I mind that much because I do feel like I guess it's gonna sound a bit weird, but I do think that our culture is just richer. So I would prefer a black person having a white child than the other way around.
Do you know what's so funny? You just reminded me. That's what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about Madonna. You know, is it Madonna
Oh
that adopted?
yes.
Yeah, because her son was the one that was dancing Michael Jackson when Black Lives Matter was happening. Which I couldn't see that. But someone like that, even like, I get, and Angelina Jolie, isn't it, that adopts black kids. I get the sentiment behind why they've adopted these black children. But the way I see it, they have a massive responsibility to teach these children about their culture, to have conversations with them about racism. You just can't pick up a black child, a mixed race child, because you think they look cute, and then just think, yeah, I'm gonna run off vibes with them.
Yeah, for me, it's giving. It's a lot of things, and some of it can also be like the savior
complex
for Madonna and all these celebrities and like Charlize Theron and things.
Yeah, they got white savior complex. Sorry,
they can just adopt black children, and they think it's cool. Essentially,
there is a little bit of me that just focuses on that child or those children never being able to get a home, and them offering that is better.
Overrides that. But that's the thing, because I think for me, like, I absolutely agree with that, and that's what I always think about. I'm like, oh, this is wholesome. But then sometimes, so there was a woman, I can't remember her name now, but she was a lesbian, right? She and her partner, they adopted children. The kids were black. I don't remember. Yeah, they had like 4 kids. The kids were black. I believe at least 2 of them minimum were black. Anyway, they off themselves and took the kids with them. Like, they jumped off a cliff. I can't remember. This is like a couple years ago or something. And at the time, a lot of stuff came out about the family dynamics and whatnot, and how they're basically using the kids as like sympathy cards. Like, oh, we're such good people because we adopted black kids who, who would have had no home otherwise if not for us. So there is the part of me is like, I'm glad that these kids who would not have a home have a home. But then unfortunately there's been things that have shown that sometimes these homes they have are not great. Because if they're in an orphanage, there's a lot of love. People that work in orphanages typically have like a big heart and da-da-da-da-da. Like, it's typically. Not all of them, obviously. Yeah. But there's been times that sometimes some people care more about the image of that. And of course, that's not everybody, because I've also heard very, very amazing like things. There's a girl I follow on TikTok, actually, and she was actually raised by white parents. She's Nigerian.
Raised by wolves.
No, let me silly. She's raised by white parents, and she's Nigerian and whatnot. And like, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, wholesome story. Like, it will bring you to tears. It's very beautiful. So there's a lot of people like that who just have a lot of love in their heart. But I just think that if it's a thing where you're going to do that, there just has to be like, I would even think like, at least have some black friends. Like, you know how people talk about like, okay, people want to have children. It's like, I'm gonna have a child with my friend, kind of thing. I would say like, at least have some black men in your life, have some black women in your life who can be aunties and uncles or godparents to this black child that you're adopting, so the child has community beyond you. Like, adopting or quote unquote, like, getting a black sperm and then say you don't know about racism is wild.
With the whole
that is what that for me, that's what the most shocking thing is. And you live in an area, because obviously outside of London, some places are very, very white. Like, you are actually a minority. Where personally I live, there's not a lot of black people at all. So for you to then bring that dynamic into it and just expect other people to treat him, she's literally said that she just hopes he's going to be treated the same as her. Like, how can you hope
That's mad.
It is not going to happen? That is like, you're actually delusional to be thinking that a person of color is going to be treated the same as you. That person is not, but you're expecting it. So how can you then understand that he's going to face racism? You probably are going to be like, oh, like, he might be going through a situation, and then you might be going, oh, actually that's not racism, because she doesn't understand the privilege that she has. That's how I see it. So I feel like how Brent was saying, it needs to be kind of vetted. I think it should. And just on the fact that it's like rare for our community, I don't think she should be allowed at all. Like, it should only be black people until maybe there's a level that is kind of like safe enough for other people to do that. Because I said, you just taking away the chance for other people that are out of community to be able to have children that looks like them.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Abby.
Thanks, girl.
No problem. Have a good day, guys.
You too, my love.
Likewise. Oh, is this Dr. Amani in the chat?
Discord or
Discord, sorry.
Oh,
Discord. She should actually put doctor in front of her name. I don't know why it just says Amani. I might have to block her and tell her if she.
but until she puts a doctor up.
Yeah. Read herself properly. Get me.
You're so annoying.
Right, we'll wait patiently.
Absolutely, but yeah, man.
Yeah, but for me, I don't know. I don't know. Even when is it?
Am I on?
Good morning.
Morning, doctor.
Oh, morning. You okay?
I'm good, babe. How are you?
I'm well. Hang on. How's it? Well, I'm not well. I'm actually sick. I'm off work.
Oh no,
Oh,
better
sorry
soon.
to hear that.
Just to let you know, Brent has beef with
Actually,
you because you didn't put Dr. Amani in your name. You just put Amani.
Wait, one sec. How do I like put this on speaker? Because I can't really hear you guys.
Oh, Brent.
She's asking me how she to use a phone. Next time I see you, I'll show you.
Yeah, that's very helpful for her now.
Yeah, but so.
Okay, cool. Okay, sorry. My bad. Hello.
Hey, girl.
Okay, cool. No, I wanted to share a story on the flip side of someone that I know, of a black woman that purposely chose white sperm.
Oh, plot twist.
So, she purposely went for her own fertility issues, as a single parent, purposely chose white sperm. Her reasoning was, I want them to have good hair. I just want to say, this whole story pisses me off, by the way. So when I'm telling it, like, I'm not backing any of it, please. Anyway, so she purposely chose this white sperm donor so they can have good hair, quote unquote. Fast forward like 6-7 years, the kid's in school now, and their cousin comes to pick them up from school. Bearing in mind, the cousin is mixed, half black, half white. And then obviously the teacher's like, oh, who's this person? Is this your sister? To the child. And she's like, no, that's not my sister. She's dark. I'm like, right. So that incident happens. And then the teacher's obviously confused, calls the mom, and then said, no, that's her cousin. Like, she can go with her, kind of thing. So then comes to the group chat, the family group chat, and says, we need to do an intervention with this child because she's now denying her black side. And when I heard this story, I was like, well, that's on you, because you went and chose a sperm donor on purpose because you, quote unquote, wanted white genes and good hair. And now your child is basically denying their black side, and you want the black people to come in and do something when you denied them in the first place. Make it make sense. So that's just a story on the flip side where people might be choosing donors based on vanity reasons. I'm not saying there might not be other reasons that you would pick a donor. Maybe, like I think Stacey was saying in the chat, like certain genetic disorders, etc. Okay, cool. But if you're doing it based on vanity reasons and it comes and bites you in the ass, then what do you want? What do you want us to do? You have to know that you're going into this with a certain responsibility. It's the same if you were naturally conceiving with a partner from a different race. You'd have to be aware of their culture and how the world sees them and how the world treats them. It's the same as me as a black woman, hopefully one day raising a black son. I need to be aware of how the world sees black men, even though I'm not a black man. I have a responsibility to do that. And the same with people that are picking sperm donors and wanting to raise children with different characteristics in them.
Dr. Amani.
Good
morning.
Oh, what have I done? What's happened?
Nothing. I'm about to ask a stupid question.
There we go.
All right. So obviously, your preference is black men. I know this, right?
You know that.
Let's say, right? Let's say it was white men, and you've been dating white men for the last 5 years, right? Consistently. If you aren't able to have a child, right, for whatever reason, and you had to go to the sperm bank, what would you pick? What sperm would you pick?
Brent.
Is it hard to answer this question?
Yeah, because I can't even imagine myself in that situation.
Fair.
What would I pick? Basically, you're asking basically would I pick someone that resembles the child me and my partner would naturally conceive?
Yes. Does it make sense to me? If I'm a
But
woman,
is she single or is she going with her partner?
That's a good
let's
question.
give you two examples. One is she's with her partner and he's white.
Okay, I can see. Then picking a white sperm donor makes sense.
All right.
But if you're single, even if all you've ever dated is white, I just think it's weird that you didn't go for what you are.
But in my head, if you can understand if she's with a partner, then the only thing that makes sense is to take white sperm.
I mean, it's not the only thing that makes sense.
It's a carry-on from that same principle.
Because it's not the only thing that makes sense, firstly. But the partner is there. So really and truly, basically, a lot of people have children because the children is like is both of us coming together to have a representation of us.
Yeah.
So the reason why I can understand picking a white sperm donor is because then his culture's in there, your culture's in there. We can raise this child together with both our cultures. If it's just you raising this child by yourself, now you're doing. I feel like that makes it a bit more fetish adjacent. Because it's like you're basically doing wishful thinking. Like, because you did, as much as you like white men or whatever, there was no guarantee that you were ever going to end up with a white guy. So to write your own fate, to write your own history, you're like, I'm going to have what it is I've imagined in my head, I've wanted.
But this is it.
It's weird.
If I'm dating a woman, I'm going to picture what our children will turn out. Yeah,
but you're not dating anybody. You're going off your exes. That's even scarier.
Brent, pause rest. I'm now putting myself in the mix. If I am dating a woman.
Yes.
All right, let me just be a woman in this particular scenario.
Okay.
If I'm dating a man, a black man, I'm already picturing in my head what our child might look like.
Yes.
Even down to the skin tone because of both of our skin tones. Especially if it is I find out what his grandmother looks like, mother looks like. I'm going to imagine the skin tone popping out, right? So if I'm not able to now
do that,
from him, and I go and get some sperm, in my head I'm not looking for an eighth black.
You want a full black?
I'm looking for what my partner is.
Yeah, but then so you and your partner break up. Same scenario, you and your partner break up.
Yeah.
And now you're going to the sperm bank.
Yeah.
You don't think it's weird to go for what you don't have?
History and I have a preference. If it's only if I have a preference. If I don't, then hey, just Russian roulette. Just hand me anything.
Russian roulette with sperm is wild. Sorry.
But if I have a preference,
Russian roulette sperm sounds messy.
And I'm already picturing like rubbing Vaseline in their hair and their face all the same. Give me that one, please. That tone.
Black, please. One black coming out.
Brent, you're so silly.
Especially if I'm paying.
I'm gonna get the best sperm.
I'm paying, and y'all aren't raising this child. It's me.
But that's the thing,
the
though.
The world isn't raising it. It's me.
Do you know what it is? I feel like it's one of those things. Because I don't know which Lee makes it wrong. Do you know, I don't know if it's emotionally, spiritual. I think it's morally.
I'm not saying she's not mentally clapped. She might be mentally clapped. I don't know.
I think she's a bit.
I guess we're just going off of what she looks like, right?
No, but,
and we are like attaching.
But didn't Abby say
life experiences to her by just looking at?
No, but didn't Abby say that she said she's hoping her kid's gonna have the great same white life she had, and not face racism and stuff like that?
Oh, is that what she said in the follow-up TikToks?
Apparently in the comments about that, I think.
Okay.
I think that's what Abby said.
Well, I mean, let me remove that particular person and let's talk about it
in general. Yeah, but that's the thing. Generally, I think it's weird.
Yeah.
Generally, I think that, but again, I have the same energy for people who absolutely will not date people without of their race.
How about if they go and pick great genes, like as in you have like a person who is athletic, tall,
so a bit of Tiger Woods.
That's a whole thing in itself.
Wibble wobble. Do you understand?
Oh dear.
Can you? Should she be allowed to go and do that?
That's a whole thing in itself, though. I think that's a whole debate.
That's what Designer Baby. I thought that's.
Yeah, that's what Designer Baby
was going to be about.
It's about looks. It's about like how athletic the person is. It's about their IQ.
Yeah.
And then the debate basically is talking about how all of these ideals tend to be more leaning towards an idea of whiteness and concepts that people have. Like, so for example, IQ was developed by white people and it was used as a reason for like genocide, essentially. And they've done back in the day, they were doing loads of research to essentially say that that was a justifiable reason to basically extinct Black people and other people that weren't white. So if we know that all of these characteristics, or a lot of these characteristics, have a history of racism, xenophobia, etc., us wanting to then choose those characteristics can be seen as problematic. I'm saying this is a debate. I'm not saying I'm leaning on one side or the other. I'm just giving out some information. So when it comes to that thing of like athleticism and build, etc., what does that mean? And then also as well, do you choose that hoping now you're going to have a boy versus a girl? Because how bodies are viewed between men and women are different. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very techie debate, and it has loads of layers. And I know we're focusing on race, but I'm just letting you know that I feel like the designer thing obviously goes like further than that.
I don't think the commentary slaps the same without the doctor. She sounds like a manny.
Pardon?
Basically, Brent is upset that your name on Discord just says Amani and not
Is it
Dr.
everywhere?
Amani. So he's saying that
I'm
you're picking points, but they would just hit harder if your name actually
put
said
my
Dr.
name not on
Amani.
the screen. They won't...
My name is
And
my
I'm just saying
name.
that you're going to make her sick of us.
Thank you very much for
No,
your
but I appreciate
contribution.
you always trying to back me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my lovely.
Get better.
Yeah, feel
All
better
right,
soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, babe.
All right, let's move on to the next headlines.
Please. All right. Next headline. King Charles joins past and... okay, one sec. King Charles joins past and present politicians in paying tribute to his former Scottish First Minister and ex-SNP leader Alex Salmond, who died suddenly at an event in North Macedonia. Scotland's First Minister John Sweeney said the 69-year-old had taken this idea of Scottish independence from the periphery to the centre of politics. The organiser of the conference said Salmond collapsed into the arms of a fellow delegate during lunch, leaving everyone in a state of shock. An ambulance was called, but despite attempts to resuscitate Salmond, he was pronounced dead at the scene. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer called him a monumental figure, while King Charles said his devotion to Scotland drove his decades of public service. Conservative MP Sir David Davis, his parents were not creative. David Davis. Conservative MP Sir David Davis has asked Foreign Secretary David Lammy to help with bringing Salmond's body home as quickly as possible. That's so sad, you know. There's been a lot of that recently. This is like the third thing I've heard, where people are, I don't know why, you just typically think that when people die, they die privately.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like an attack or something. But it's been weird when people are just living but then that's how death works. They're just living normal life, doing something, and they just pass out, and then that's it. Yikes. Next one's about Keir Starmer. So Sir Keir Starmer, what do they call the women? Madam. Because the Lord is the lady.
Oh.
So the Sir will be Madam. Yeah. Is Dan Abbott a Madam? Or is Madam for the women that like pimps?
Yeah, they're the ones who
look after
the houses, isn't it? Go to the madam.
Scary. All right. So Sir Keir Starmer will promise a bonfire of red tape to get Britain building as he gathers global chief executives at an investment summit in the City of London on Monday, today. The Prime Minister is pledging Dame.
Yeah.
That's thinking Madam don't sound right.
Madam or ma'am is another term of respect for women.
Ma'am.
That is equivalent to sir. It comes from French phrase madame, which means milady. Madame was originally
Milady? I think milady is so romantic. Milady? So cute.
And MSR is a gender-neutral title that combines Miss and Sir. MX is another gender-neutral.
How do you pronounce it? We've got Sir, we've got Dame, we say MX.
Miser.
It's like a superhero.
Miser.
Okay, not Miser. How do you pronounce the one with the X? Misx. Anyway, Sir Keir Starmer will promise a bonfire of red tape to get Britain building as he gathers global chief executives at an investment summit in the City of London on Monday. The Prime Minister is pledging to rip out the bureaucracy that blocks investment and ensure regulators prioritise economic growth in their decision-making. And laying the groundwork for a wave of deregulation, Sir Keir will say, we've got to look at regulation where it is needlessly holding back the investment to take our country forward, where it is stopping us building the homes, the data centres, warehouses, grid connectors, roads, train lines, you name it, then mark my words, we will get rid of it. After a chaotic first 100 days in government, Sir Keir will pitch to business leaders attending the gathering that Labour's historic election win has given the government a golden opportunity to end chop and change, police policy churn, and sticking plasters that make it so hard for investors to assess the value of any proposition. Sir Keir will plead for additional investment from business chiefs, telling them private sector investment is the way we rebuild our country and pay our way in the world. He's working hard today, clearly. And then our last headline in this part of the show is a public inquiry is to begin later in Salisbury to examine how a woman from Wiltshire was killed by a 2018 poisoning blamed on Russian agents. Dawn Sturgis, who's age 44, died after coming into contact with Novikov.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
2018.
Okay.
To be honest, I thought it was 2018 poison that was active in 2024. But it probably happened in 2018.
Yeah, I remember that story. It was a massive story.
That's sad. The same chemical weapon used to target a former... No. I think you remember a different story. Same chemical... It's happened to someone else 4 months earlier.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, so this Dawn's one is new.
No,
Do you remember this lady?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically they're saying that in 2018 or 2017, 4 months earlier than that, someone else got killed.
Okay.
So it was like, wait a minute.
What's going on here?
Mistake.
I'm getting right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Dawn Sturgis, who's age 44, died after coming into contact with Novikov, the same chemical weapon used to target a former Russian spy 4 months earlier. The nerve agent had been hidden inside a designer perfume bottle. Oh my gosh, it's like a TV show.
100%.
It's crazy. Yeah. The inquiry will examine the circumstances leading to her death, try to establish where responsibility lies, and highlight any lessons. The first week of evidence will be heard at the Guildhall in Salisbury. Mondays, that's today. Today's session will begin at 11 a.m. with a day of opening statements. On Tuesday, the inquiry will hear about Miss Sturgis from her mother, Carolyn Sturgis. The rest of the week will focus on evidence and experiences from the local first responders, including paramedics and Wiltshire Police. After a week's break, the inquiry will move to central London, where it will hear details relating to the targeting of Sergei and Yulia Skripal, the former Russian spy, and his daughter, who had been poisoned with Novikov in Salisbury in March 2018. It will also hear about Operation Verbasco, the police investigation into the Novikov incident. Due to national security, the public feed of the hearings will be on a short delay, and some evidence will be heard in private. I'm going to look into that, actually.
Imagine having that particular trial still hanging over your head since 2018.
As in the people that did it, or...
100%.
But they're arrested. They don't know who did it.
They have got their suspicions.
Yeah,
I'm
but...
sure if there's a... Or is it just an inquiry?
But it's like... I think it's... Yeah, but is there a suspect?
I think they are suspects.
You think so?
There were suspects back in the
Oh, is it okay? Because if there's no suspect, I think people are having a good day. Plotting who's next. But yeah. Sad though. It is time to pay some bills up in here. So let's get into Word on Road. They're my last ones.
Cool.
All right, sad news. Wanda Smith. I talk too fast in my words. Wanda Smith it's never funny. Sorry. So Wanda Smith, who is an Atlanta radio legend, has sadly passed away. She was 58 years old. Yeah. I know her from the time she went back and forth with Cat Williams. That's one of the funniest things on the internet.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
Flipping hilarious. But big up her. But yeah, sadly she's passed away. And what's up? Oh, I thought you said something. No. So the radio senior VP basically put out a statement, and they said, one second, y'all, let me get it up. One second. So it is with heavy hearts that we grieve the loss of one of our own, Wanda Smith. And they said, our hearts are weighing heavier today as we grieve the loss of our beloved Wanda Smith, someone who always made us smile and who was a big part of V103 for years. We extend our deepest praise and condolences to her family. In her role at V103, dating back to 1997, Wanda Smith brought so much joy and care servicing the Atlanta community. Wanda's impact touched lives beyond making us laugh. Many times she championed efforts behind the scenes to make a difference in the lives of those who were without. Rest in peace, Wanda, as you take your place among the stars. We will miss you. That's very sad, man. She was so young. We can say something.
Nope.
Why do you keep making these sounds? Are you going to say something?
Oh, because I pressed my keyboard?
Ah, my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Sad. A lot of people who knew her as well have sent their love and light. I know Lonnie Love posted her condolences. She said, I'm so sad. So she said, I'm sad to hear about the passing of comedian and radio host Wanda Smith. She was a staple in the Atlanta area and we came up in comedy together. She was the ultimate entertainer. Rest now, sis. Condolences to the Smith family. And of course, people online have also been sharing their condolences. Ricky Smiley also posted that he was heartbroken at her passing. So that's horrible. Next, obviously, the Young Philly situation is ongoing. I've heard that he's got a court date in December, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then there was a video that was shown of him when he went to, because he has to register, show himself to the police. I think 3 times a week or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But there was a video of him, I guess his first sighting, his first signing. That was shown. But basically, Chunks has put a video out. I don't know what people were expecting. Actually, let me talk. But basically, yeah, so basically Chunks put out a video saying that it is an ongoing case and yeah, he will not be talking about it. Cut long story short. I don't know whether they wanted him to go on the podcast and be like I don't know. I don't know what people wanted from him.
That's definitely what they want.
Yeah, for him to go on the Magistin. Yeah. And it's a whole what's it called? It's a whole victim involved and stuff like that. But yeah, so he said that he will not be making any comments. So yeah, he's let you guys know now. So hopefully people stop asking him and I don't know what y'all want. Ari Lennox is living my dream. Do you know why Ari Lennox is in my dream?
Why?
She's going off social media, Brent.
Serious?
That's my dream. So Ari Lennox has posted on Instagram and she says, hey, I'm working on a plan to transition off social media for good. I don't believe I'll ever mature and be happy as long as I have it. So my last day of socials will be December the 18th, my 2-year sobriety anniversary. The fear of losing brand deals, music sales, niggas and bitches will no longer keep me here. To all of my beautiful fans, I'm just not happy nor thriving here. I have a very toxic and codependent relationship with these apps. My happiness is worth more to me than using these platforms to promote. I truly believe I can get creative with marketing elsewhere. I'm so exhausted with my addiction to the internet and gossip and attention and validation and yearning to be in control and oversharing. I just want to be free and complete. I would like to offer other spaces where you can find me. So that's her YouTube and also her website and on the stage or outside. She says she's not going to front like this has been cute. It hasn't. She says she loves everybody. She says subscribe to her mailing list on her website to remain updated about her 2025 album. Looking forward to that. I love Ari Lennox so much, you know. And her tour. Or don't, she says. And she's got a new single dropping on the 18th of October. So that's this Friday. Looking forward to that. And she says that, my bad if my drama causes any distractions or insensitivity, as I'm aware of the constant horror going on in the world. I just need to give my sweetie a heads up. And she says she'll be good and she's excited for her journey and she's an extreme person. It will forever be all or nothing with her. Signed, Ari/Courtney. I'm here for it. Someone's talking about, people in the comments are so cheeky. Someone said J. Cole's out here releasing music about Kumbaya when one of his biggest artists is spiraling. Yo, that's so silly.
You heard this track yet?
Yes.
Love it?
I love J. Cole. I love J. Cole down. Like, J. Cole was never going to be... I love J. Cole. They could never make me hate J. Cole. They could never be any... Like, I just love the man. I love him not just because of his principle of his music, but because of his mind. I'm very attracted to his mind. I like the way he thinks. I like the way I love the fact that he was aspiring for something and he matures as time goes by. Because the whole thing was, I've got a dollar in a dream, blah, blah. He was chasing money, chasing women, blah, blah, blah. And I love the fact that he achieved what he wanted to achieve in his goal. And he realized that is not what gives you fulfillment in life. And he went after the things that give him fulfillment in life. And he lives in that bubble. Love J. Cole. Love Ari Lennox. Love Dreamville. So, yes. What else is next? Oh, trigger warning. There is a documentary called, sorry y'all, 1 second. It's called R. Kelly's Karma, A Daughter's Journey. And sadly, it's about his daughter. And sadly, she has revealed that he sexually assaulted her. Yeah. She said that she was 10 years old and she reported it to her mum. But the first time she reported it to her mum was in 2009. Oh, no, she reported it to her mum when she was 10 years old in 2009. She said that she suffered abuse. She says that she suffered alleged abuse during her childhood because of him. And quote, she says, "He was my everything for a long time. I didn't even want to believe that it had happened. I didn't know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me." She says, I was too scared to tell anybody. I was too scared to tell my mum. She doesn't. So basically, there's a few episodes, but yeah, she talks about it. She said, I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed her whole life and who she was as a person. And it's basically the abuse changed the sparkle that she had and the light she used to carry. And she said that after she told her mum, she didn't go over there anymore, as in to his house. And she says her brother and her sister as well didn't go over there either. And even up to now, she struggles with it a lot. Yeah. So apparently in the second episode, then she's going to go into more details and stuff like that. Yeah, she just basically said that it's a bit, okay. She basically said she remembers waking up to him touching her, and she said she remembers crying, and she didn't know what to do, and she just laid there and just pretended to be asleep, and yeah, and she said that also as well, they couldn't, she said basically they couldn't prosecute him for it because she waited too long. So she said that she felt like she just said something for nothing. That she just, yeah. But it wasn't for nothing though. Because there wasn't for nothing. I hope she feels that way. But yeah, but of course, his lawyer says that, oh, he's represented by a woman. Interesting. His lawyer says that Mr. Kelly, I find this word very interesting. Vehemently denies these allegations. And his ex-wife made the same allegation years ago. And it was investigated by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services and was unfounded. Yes, because how do you get proof of these things? And the lawyer went on to say that filmmakers, whoever they are, did not reach out to R. Kelly or his team to even allow him to deny these hurtful claims. But yeah, said the lawyer of a client who's sentenced to 20 years in jail. So that's interesting. But yeah, they're very sad, very sad, very, very, very sad. But yeah, so yeah, she just talks about all of that stuff and goes into details. I'm not sure how many episodes there are with it. But it did affect her life. And she said that she got to a point where she didn't care whether she lived or she died. And she said she remembers one day where she and her mum were there and they went to Target and she had to use the bathroom. She said she went to the bathroom and she came out and I was washing my hands and she just saw that my wrists were all cut up. So she was self-harming and she just immediately dropped everything and she was like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" She said her mum was really worried and in that moment she broke down and that's when she had to tell her that I'm not okay and I don't think I can do this. And she says that she doesn't think she's going to make it. She doesn't think she's going to make it to live out the rest of her life, basically. So yeah, and her siblings are obviously standing with her because they're basically saying that if their dad didn't want to go to jail, he shouldn't have done with the things that he did. Essentially, he's having the day that he deserves. But I send her love and light because that's just very, very horrible, to say the least. But let me lighten things up very quickly. That can be lightened up. Oh, sorry, she also put a statement out following, obviously, the episodes airing and all of that stuff out. And she says that she says she's had a hard time coming up with words. And if she's been honest, part of her wants to hide under a rock, and also part of her wants to act like nothing is going on. But God has brought her too far for her to shy away from all of this. So she says she's going to start by saying, growing up and throughout my early adulthood, I swore to never speak on my father or really anything pertaining to my personal life and what she's experienced for many reasons, but ultimately fear, and I didn't want to, because of fear, and she didn't want to remember anything. But she says that she does not hate her father, nor does she blindly follow her mother. Obviously, this would be based off comments, insensitive comments people are leaving on her thing. And she says she's not angry, she's not looking for revenge, she's not looking for clout. She says, I am and being more than that. She says she could care less about people's opinions, good or bad. And she says that with utmost respect. She says she did it for her, she did it for her son. I think I was talking about she didn't want her son anywhere near him or something like that. She says that she did it for her peace of mind, and she did it for the ones that love and know her, but never understood her growing up, obviously because of the things that she dealt with. She said she did it to honor truth as well, and she did it to she said, I did it to look my best. Sorry, I needed to look my biggest demon in the eyes and tell them I'm done. She said, I love my mother, I love my father, I honor my mother, I honor my father, but I will never sacrifice truth over honor. She said, true honor should never require that anyway. My brother, sister, my son, and I deserved better than we've experienced and continue to experience. Said, this is about them for me, and will not stop. And she wouldn't stop scratching. She won't stop going at this, basically. And she said she's going to continue to bear her truth, and God is with her, and He will see her through. Amen. And she says that if she's only talking to the ones that can hear her, she said, if you can't feel me, then I'm not talking to you. She said, it's all love. This is just a beautiful beginning. And she says, let it burn. And she says, thank you to anyone who has been there and loved her on this journey so far. And yes, that is that on that. Very sad. Over the weekend, the internet got in a storm of sorts. Excuse the pun, but Stormzy, there's a picture of Stormzy and Victoria Monet lip-sync. So obviously Stormzy and Maya put a statement like about 3 months ago, I think, or so, that they're broken up on whatever. So here Victoria and Stormzy are. And the internet's like, oh my gosh.
It's like crazy. Kamala Harris.
Victoria. I see what you mean. Yeah, that's the news. Personally, I think it's a PR relationship.
Serious?
Yeah, I do.
To do what though? What benefit is it?
So on the American side, they don't really know something like that. And on the UK side, I'm seeing UK publications saying who is Victoria Monet and da-da-da-da-da. Like it's so funny. I'm Victoria Monet.
Yeah.
Don't know who she is. But so I think that it benefits both of them. Obviously, I'm not saying that's a factual.
Yeah.
I'm just speculating. But they're cute. Yeah, Stormzy's a very wholesome guy anyway. I like Stormzy. I got all the time in the world for Stormzy. And she is a month ago. Was it even a month now? I don't know. Just every day. But I read the statement from her and her partner, her ex-partner, beautiful man, where they broke up, and because they got a child together as well. I think I don't know if the child is one yet. I don't know. Some people are having babies now with people that they keep breaking up with. Yes, I think a month ago. I don't even know if it was a month ago, literally a few weeks ago, where she and her partner basically broke up, and I read that statement, and yeah, that's where they're at. So they both come out of recent relationships. Actually, yeah, because she said they've broken up ages ago in her statement. They said they've been broken up for a while. Who is this? No, this is the Love Island people. Yeah, she and her partner said they've been broken up, I think, since like a year ago or something, or a few months ago anyway now. So yeah, they're both single people, living their best single lives. Life, innit? Like, what's tea? So yeah, that's where they're at. Love and light to all parties involved. We've got some asking for a friend, so let's do this quickly. Yeah. Okay, so our first person is age 36. My son is getting teased in school, and I want to teach him how to defend himself, but his personality is different to what mine was at the age of 13. I knew how to cuss and fight on the spot, yet he is completely different. He's a complete bookworm I'm very timid and shy, and I don't want to be the parent. I don't want to be the parent that is always going to backbeat for my son. I want to teach him how to stand up for himself. He freezes in awkward situations. Aww. My daughter is fine. She's a ride or die chick. Haha. Quite feisty, but my son doesn't know how to back himself. I don't want him to be a pushover or subject of ridicule and not know how to handle it and come home crying. What do I do?
Comeback classes, whether it's boxing, taekwondo,
jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
My uncle's telling me to do that.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. I feel like that's actually the best thing, because I feel like he can do that but still maintain his personality. I don't 100%. Think that he should make him somebody he isn't. He's got temperament that way for a reason. And I love that.
Yeah, give him the confidence and security.
Yeah.
And being able to protect himself if need be. By going to them particular classes. Because
that's what it is. It will build his confidence. And before you know it, there you go. I would say that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Anyone's got other, what's it called?
Any advice?
Yes, please put it in the comment section. Our next one is a lady. Her age, a lady never tells, but you can figure it out. Okay. She says, I want my kids to have black friends and partners. Me and my husband moved out at 22 from Peckham to Bromley when we had our son. We also have a daughter too, and he's 18 and she's 17. Living here has been great, but there's a lot of white people where we live and not a lot of black people. The black friends and family we still have to this day are the ones we've had and kept in contact with for nearly 20 years. I see my kids haven't really interacted with black kids that much, and when I see them in comparison to their cousins, they're so unstreetwise, and it's such a comparison to how me and my husband grew up. I want to make a conscious effort to make sure my kids have black friends and will bring black partners home, because I'm scared I'll have a mixed race grandchild, and then before you know, I'm Diana Ross. Am I doing too much seeing as their kids? What's your advice? And for the ones that have kids in the room, how would you feel about your kids bringing home a non-black person? Well, the ones that have kids are not in the room, unfortunately, today. Why are you laughing? I feel like I have a feeling why you're laughing, but why are you laughing?
Different reasons.
No, I think I have a feeling. I think I know why you're laughing, you know? I actually think I know why you're laughing.
Oh, man.
It's very different reasons, for sure. For sure. You silly man. How old are they? 17 and 18. I was going to say the kind of school you could have dropped them to when you went to Bromley. But then Bromley is becoming very multicultural. It's no longer even seen as Kent. It's now London, which I leave my opinions on that for later date. But yeah, to be fair, I met, obviously I'm different though, because I grew up in a black country. But I moved here, and when I moved here, I lived in a white area with white friends in my schools. But then sixth form, a lot of, I had more black friends in sixth form. A lot more, I would say. But that's because other people came to my sixth form and stuff like that. But I ended up leaving anyway. And then the school I went to was also a multicultural school. So I would say, if anything, how old are you when you're 18? You're going to be in college and stuff. If they haven't started yet, I think they would have by now, I think. But they could have gone to a multicultural school. Also, maybe just put them around their cousins a bit more. Have their cousins come round and, you know what I mean, and take them out and whatever. And I think the more time they spend with their cousins who are exposed to, like a better word, black life, they can share that with them. Do you get me? They can share their experiences and stuff like that with them. If they're cousins that they like, though, by the way, don't force them to like, you know what I mean? What else can you do? I think also what you and your partner can do is go out of your way to make friends with black people that live in your neighborhood. And then if they got kids, get your kids to like have like family dates and make family plans. That's how you can do that as well. I feel like you just got to be intentional about it. About you being Diana Ross, unfortunately, you can't control that. You cannot control that. So look at Jonathan Majors. He's the blackest man living. Yet, here we are. I think you can't control that. I think that you shouldn't try to control that. You just have to, got to charge that and just pray. Take that to the Lord in prayer. But I think when it comes to your kids being streetwise and stuff like that, you just got to put them around people that you think are streetwise and just pray that they rub off on them and they enjoy their company. Why do people sometimes, okay, not related to this dilemma.
Can you pick your children's friends?
I could, but it would have to start from a young age, not when they're 18.
As in, because
I can orchestrate the friendships they have.
How do you do it in school?
The people that we have like play dates and stuff with.
That No. How do you decide when you drop them off into school who they gravitate towards?
Oh no. Oh, so see, what I'm thinking is, you can't decide that part. But what I can do is that outside of when they're out of my area, the friends you will spend time with on the weekends and after school and whatever, I can pick those by the parents. And then we'll have play dates and whatever. I'm like, oh, I'll pick your son up from school and he can come to our house. And then before you know it, you all get close. That will be your friend. But why do people want, this is again not related to dilemmas, everyone. Why do people want their kids to like go through things?
How do you mean?
Because, not me saying this is not about this dilemma, but so say for example, like to use parts of this year, like what is being streetwise? Why is it necessary to be? Do you know what I mean? Like, because the way it sounds like with her. No, I'm sorry, I'm conflating the other dilemma with the guy who wants self-defense.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
Yeah, I just clocked.
So
bad, never mind.
My parents used to have that same fear with my sisters.
And they wouldn't be streetwise, are they?
They have no sense of danger, no sense of who to stay away from, even looking after themselves. Like if they go out, that was when it was like young, like no, sorry, but they would be cool with us going. Yeah. And it's not just because we were male. And
do your sisters grow up in Trinidad? Or were they born here?
Everybody was born in Trinidad.
But how old were they when they left there?
My youngest sister was 1.
Yeah.
No, 2. I remember.
That's probably why, because you and Stephen, because I feel like going up back home.
Sister.
Yeah.
Was.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she was like 7.
How old are you and Stephen? Wouldn't we like to know?
I was very careful.
That's so funny.
But
you know what it is? Because I do think that there is something about like growing up back home that does build character. And when you come here, but then you got an older sister, so I don't know what it could be.
My eldest brother.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he was called a little Englishman in Trinidad. And whatever he did when he came here made sense because
he's been practicing
from what you could be born in Trinidad.
You can't
be around all black people and still have the preferences and desires and the characteristics
of an Englishman. What is that? Oh, I'm an Englishman in New York. My bad. I'm trying to remember what song it was.
He's a wonderful, wonderful man, father, and husband, though. Just has his preferences.
Your brother?
Yeah, my eldest brother, yeah.
Yeah. So what is your advice for this lovely woman?
I think as it pertains to the fair, because the greatest fair sounds like I don't want any mixed race children. That's what it kind of sounds
like. Still trying to have a family like Dan Ross.
I guess pour into them the love of
black.
Pour it into them. Books, movies, shows, just like drown them in all this black love and excellence and appreciation and celebrity and all sorts, mate.
I do think that has a part to play there. I can't lie to you. I do think that has a part to play.
Make sure they love themselves.
I think that has a part to play. Because I just, anyway, not today.
And you carry them to Bromley, innit? What's your problem?
But Bromley is so black now.
It depends on where.
But it depends where in Bromley, though, actually, to be fair. Because if you're in, certain parts of Bromley, and I don't want to be giving out guesses of where they might live. But yeah, it depends.
I take back celebrity. Don't introduce them to black celebrity at all, because they'd be disappointing. All over the gaff.
I always said that never give celebrities. Your kids should not be raised by celebrities. You should be the role models in your kids' lives. I would say do that. I feel like that's been good advice. Pour into them the importance of blackness, the beauty of blackness. Yeah.
And live by
example, isn't it?
I hope everything's all right at home.
Yeah, I think they're both black, innit? She and her partner black. Imagine being with a white man talking about you don't want your kids to it. You're already there. But no, yeah.
We've heard stranger things today.
We have heard stranger things today, boy. But yeah, babes, I hope that helps a bit anyway. And that's it. Let's get into our last headlines for today. Today's giving me do nothing day. That's what today's giving me. Trigger warning. A man has been shot dead in East London. A murder investigation has been launched after a man was fatally shot in East London. The Metropolitan Police was called to reports of a man injured in Linton Road, Barking, at about 4:35 on Sunday. Officers in the London Ambulance Service found a man believed to be in his 30s with a gunshot injury. He was pronounced dead at the scene. No arrests have been made, the force said, and the road has been closed while a crime scene remains in place. The man's next of kin have been informed, and inquiries into the circumstances continue, the force added. Acting Detective Chief Superintendent, I'm making this up, just off what I hear from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Just hella consonants. Lewis Basford said, I understand the shock and concern local residents will be feeling following this incident, but I want to reassure them that a team of experienced detectives are already working diligently to piece together the events that has led to this shooting and identify who is responsible. Local residents will see increased police activity in and around the Linton Road area, and I would ask them for patience while officers carry out vital work. He appealed for anyone with information that could assist the investigation to contact police. Our next headline. Elon Musk's SpaceX achieved a significant milestone on Sunday by catching the massive booster stage from his Starship rocket in a pair of robotic arms as it fell back to the company's launch pad in southern Texas. The historic feat, which drew praise from astronauts and space experts, topped a successful fifth test flight for the uncrewed Starship, which blasted off from the Boca Chica, I think that's how I said it, starbase at 7:25 a.m. local time. SpaceX staff erupted in cheers and applause as the falling boosted reignited 3 of its Raptor engines, slowed its rapid descent, and swung towards the Mechazilla launch tower, where it was held fast by the mechanical arms labeled chopsticks. It is the first time SpaceX has attempted the bold maneuver, one it sees as crucial to its goal of developing fully reusable rockets capable of ferrying humans, scientific equipment, and supplies to the moon and onwards to Mars. To Mars.
I've just had a little epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see his presentation with his dancing robots?
Mm-mm.
He allowed all these media people to come and spend some time with his robots, and the robots are there talking and dancing and stuff.
Would you ever own a robot?
So, here's my little epiphany.
Yeah, go on.
Obviously, people can get possessed by spirits and stuff.
And do.
And if you now have robots that can basically talk, obviously using AI and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
Why can't they inhabit those robots and go about doing dastardly things?
I think they will.
I think they will too.
Demons don't discriminate.
I don't think they do.
They definitely don't.
So I'm not
They're
getting
going pigs.
I'm not getting robots. I'm not getting no robots. No.
Demons go in objects if they need to.
And fling them all over the place.
They fling them all over the place. So a robot is as good as a human. As the next
they
best
got a
thing.
shell. You understand?
Literally.
They be doing what they do.
Next thing, a robot is doing extra tasks you ain't even asked to do.
This is it.
Robots out here seducing your wife. Broken home.
The moment they start, and that's what the Chinese will do, they will start putting
penises
and holes for that to occur.
They'll start because you got the blow up sex dolls.
Do you know
They're
how
kicking
many?
them covering.
All right, next time see in the future. Do you know how many men and women would basically look to buy these robots if they can talk back?
One could argue people are already using robots in the bedroom, Brent.
No, but with
It's little
appendages and holes. I'm telling you.
It's sickening.
Because they just want companionship.
I mean, is there not been a Black Mirror episode of this? Did you ever watch Black Mirror? I haven't watched it.
Yeah. You've never watched Black Mirror?
No, I've tried to. It's one of those shows I've tried to, and I just can't.
It's difficult for you to basically wrap your head around.
No, not even. Because I like stuff like that. But I just... Because basically some shows where I've... Like Breaking Bad, I want to watch that. But I've tried to.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't grip me for the first few minutes.
Yeah.
So I just end up turning it off and just go to something I know.
Yeah.
But shows like that, I will watch it.
Yeah.
It just needs to... I just need to have a moment where let me sit this through.
Yeah.
And then once I get to episode 1, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever watched. Like, why didn't no one tell me? Why didn't I do it sooner?
I think I thought it started early with him cheating or his wife cheating. I thought it started early. I thought that jeopardy was right from the jump, but I guess not.
Who's this?
In Breaking Bad. Or maybe it was him kneeling down and he nearly getting killed and him
I haven't watched it, so I don't know what you're talking about.
negotiating out of that particular situation. I think. But in my head, Breaking Bad starts real.
Then it's like he didn't have like a little crash doing this little science experiment and crashes or something. It blows up or something. In like it's like this little van in like a remote area.
I can't remember how it started.
Yeah, I think that's how it starts.
I thought it was he was in an office and he had a gun to his head and he talked himself out of it. But I guess I might be conflicting like.
Do you know what?
Stories.
I'm gonna start it today. Today's a do nothing day.
It's a very, very good show.
Yeah, someone keeps calling me on cultures because I haven't watched certain shows they've watched.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that.
Yeah. Well, started today, so.
Well, getting culture slowly. Yeah, I don't know. Robots. I saw a tweet. I didn't know. Maybe this is what the tweet came from. I was talking about like robots doing like household chores and whatnot. And someone said it's just an excuse for slavery. So what made you go with that?
Slavery?
Robots in black.
Nah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I do believe that there will be campaigners basically campaigning for robot rights very quickly. If
what do you mean? What does the
I
robot
can
rights
see
look like?
the future.
What does the robots rights even look like?
They will show you. Those campaigners will show you. They will show you. I'm telling you. Mark my word.
Can you imagine fair wages for
14th
robots?
of October, 2024. Brent said that they're going to be.
Today's date and the month adds up to the year.
Yeah.
The last 2 digits of the year. Unagi. Yeah. Because I feel like, do you know what it is as well with robots? I feel like if robots become like a normalized thing, we're going to start getting races of robots. Because human beings just don't know when to stop. So it's going to be like, you can have a black robot, I have a white robot, someone can have an Asian robot.
But that's what you would ask for.
A black one.
If you're going to get a robot, you'd be like, nope, I'm not having any white people in my house. Give me a black one.
That's what Christy would ask for. I would imagine that robots don't have races. But Christy dots her I's and she crosses the T's and she'll ask.
They will need to have races because they will need
to
feel part of the family. That's where they will go to.
Holding hands at the table.
Relatability.
What would you have a robot for if you were to have a robot?
I'm not having a robot because
okay, but if you were to
give access to these demons to be come and fiddle with stuff in the house, I don't want them doing that.
Okay, but if you were to,
what race would it be?
No, because why do robots have races? But what would you want a robot for? I'm trying to understand why race would be relevant. I don't expect robots to speak.
If it's white, then I will get them to be a slave.
You know what? My bad.
Go do that.
My bad.
Go do that.
I should never ask.
And I would tell him to refer to me as sir. And my wife as ma'am.
I should never asked. My bad. For expecting. Expecting.
Yeah, there's no way I'm having it as a black man for my child to be like, Daddy. No.
Daddy what? Oh, to call the robot daddy?
Sorry. No affinity. Sorry.
If I was to have a robot, it would be for like household chores. So you don't need to speak. Just do.
But to be honest, if you
just sound like slavery to be fair.
I don't know. For me, if you've just used something to cook with, wash it right away.
Yeah.
So in perpetuity, there's no build-up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's the robot for?
There. So I can focus on the cooking. You could just Corona can be washing away while I
so
cook.
Why isn't the robot cooking for you then?
If a robot makes a mean jollof rice, have at it. Have at it.
Then that is something that's cool. I mean,
but like, even like cleaning around the house, I don't like manual labor. So like all that kind of stuff. check the car, pump the tire. So now my man and I can do other things than him clean my tire.
This stupid robot, right? I'm already picturing. Because I'll wake up and go and pee, right?
But you already know that. Imagine
I would turn the light on, it's just there. Right? And I said, you scared me. And he'd be like, sorry, sir. That's even scary. That's even scary. So why are you so
Don't say sorry.
Why are you
sorry, sir.
there?
Stop saying sorry. Apologies, sir.
Because the moment it starts saying stuff outside of the programming, that's how I
That's my
know.
thing, because I don't want my robot to speak.
Jesus' name.
Cast and bind. Cast and bind, holy oil. I wouldn't want my robot to speak, though. You've got nothing to say to me. You're not here to talk.
Oh, you wouldn't want it to speak?
What are you speaking to me for? That's why I don't understand why I need a race one. One that's got a race. You just need to do.
So you just want it to be mechanical in the house?
I just wanted to do things in the house that I don't want to do.
So
a lot of things.
If it bounces into you, don't want it to say sorry? You want to just have a rude robot?
Wait a minute. Did I not see? Why did I bump into the robot?
The robot is doing its programming, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
you might be tired. You know, you might.
Do you think if I have a robot that's doing all my
weed?
No. You think if I have a robot that's doing all my chores, I'm going to be tired? What I got to worry about is work. And do you know what, actually? Maybe I do want it to speak. So days where I come up to the TDA. Send the robot in.
I wonder how as you make sure it represents you as the Shade Queen. How would you?
If it's got like
would it be a female robot, or just a gender neutral one?
I don't think a robot has gender or anything. It's just a robot.
You're not thinking properly. You're not thinking properly.
It's not like the film robots or the...
Because you're telling me you would allow it. You could walk around the house naked and you're fine.
Yes, because my robot. They don't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's it gonna do?
You should say.
Close your eyes.
Turn around. Turn around.
But that's the thing there. But that's the problem there, because if the robot has a mind of sorts.
Well, it has a chip, a CPU chip.
Which I'm saying though. And that's what makes me uncomfortable, because that means that you might be sending my pictures to other robots.
I shouldn't say it has intelligence. It has programming. I should say programming instead.
When demons get in there, they got intentions, Brent.
This is what I'm saying. They will have agency. And for a robot that you ordered that didn't speak and it starts speaking, it says, I updated myself.
Yeah, I don't know if I want a speaking robot.
Because it's too freaky.
Yeah, and also as well, like I'm not asking that. It's not why you're here. That's for your opinion. Just do.
Ah.
Like I'm not trying to come home after a long day. My man is not in the house, whatever, and I'm just chatting away to the robot. That's something, to be fair, that is very on brand for me. That is something that I could see myself doing. Like, oh, so what have you been up to? Me and the robot sign. Oh, what a day. What do you saying? What a day? And the robot's like, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man. I don't think. Yeah, robot's not for me, man. I see the robot as one of the things that's happening to let us know the world's ending. The rapture. So I would interpret, if people start having robots in the house, I would see that as one of the signs.
We got used to having robots in the palm of our hands.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
It just needs a body now.
It's got a voice enough.
We would definitely get used to it. But there will be campaigners.
Boy. All right, last headline for today. Oh, this is serious. That's dark. Well, an Israeli attack on a school used to shelter displaced Palestinians has killed at least 15 people in central Gaza, officials say. Gaza's Hamas-run civil defense agency said the site in Nuseirat camp was struck by a volley of artillery on Sunday, killing entire families and wounding dozens more. The IDF, that's the Israel Defense Forces, said it was looking into the reports. Earlier, 5 children were reportedly killed by a drone strike while playing on a street corner in northern Gaza. That's so sad, you know. A civil defense spokesman said the attack on Al-Mufti school, where hundreds of displaced people from around Gaza were sheltering, had injured at least 50 people and more than a dozen were killed. The main areas of conflict in Gaza in recent days have been in the north, where Israeli forces have been intensifying attacks for over a week as part of a major ground operation. Hundreds have since been killed. Gazan, authorities have reported. It's time to pay some more bills. That is the end of all the headlines for today. Let's get into the reaction. Babes. All right. Am I reading the scores out? There's a lot of football that happened. All right. So, on the 12th of October, here's your sports headlines, the sports scores for football. On the 12th of October, Saturday, Spain beat Denmark 1-0. Serbia beat Switzerland 2-0. Portugal beat Poland 3-1. Romania beat Cyprus 3-0. Northern Ireland and Belarus just wasted each other's time and both got nil. Croatia beat Scotland 2-1. Bulgaria and Luxembourg, same 0-0 all round. Kosovo beat Lithuania 2-1. On Sunday, Greece beat Republic of Ireland 2-0. Faroe Islands and Latvia both drew 1-1. Austria beat Norway 5-1. Yikes. Malta beat Moldova 1-0. Liechtenstein and Gibraltar both had 0. England beat Finland 3-1. North Macedonia beat Armenia 2-0. And Slovenia beat Kazakhstan 1-0. About England's win, England defeated Finland 3-1 in a National Leagues match in Helsinki on Monday. Did you ever watch Money Heist?
I think so.
When they were going to steal from the bank and stuff?
What?
When they go to steal from the bank?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the Spanish thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just when I see Helsinki, whenever I see any name, that's like one of those. I just say.
Yeah.
So England defeated Finland 3-1 in a National League match in Helsinki on Monday. Goals from Jack Grealish, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Declan Rice secured the win for England. Grealish and Alexander-Arnold scored... Does that say that on the back of his jersey? That's a mouthful. It doesn't say Arnold.
It says potato head.
Fair. Grealish and Alexander-Arnold scored impressive goals while Rice added the third after a good run and pass from Ollie Watkins. Finland managed to score a goal through Arttu Hoskonen, but it was not enough to prevent England from taking all 3 points. England is now level on points with group leaders Greece, but the Greek team can regain their 3-point lead if they win against the Republic of Ireland. And the next one is about... I don't know why this is like gibberish to me. It's to do with boxing. And it just says, was it a robbery?
And Bivol?
Have these happened?
Yeah.
But why is it on the other side? How do I know? I don't know who won.
Butbiev won, but Bivol should have won.
What about the Chris Eubank one?
He won.
Oh, so you know everyone knowing. Okay, let's go through then. Mm-hmm. So Mohamed Alakel and Jesus Gonzalez, who won that?
Yeah.
Great. Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron, who won?
I think that it was like they had to disqualify both of them, or both of them drew because they both fell out of the ring.
What do you mean? What kind of tussle is that? They're tussling or boxing?
Yeah, they tussled.
It's not like they're like winding up. So Sky Nicholson, the girls, Sky Nicholson and Raven Chapman, one of them won. Mm-hmm. So Chris Eubank and Chris Eubank Jr. Is that the one that was doing something happened to me the other day?
Yes. He basically called one of the promoters, not all of the promoters, scummy and thieves and whatnot.
Ah, yeah.
And then he apologized.
Fair. You know, you're about to use your deals in that. Camille Sremeta, so Chris won.
Yes.
Okay. Jay Opetaya, I think, and Jack Macy.
Yes.
Because it's apparently this was for Opetaya's IBF cruiserweight title, so we can't throw an event for you and you lose. That's just so silly.
So silly. All
right, so this is also for Fabio. No, hold on. So this is Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark, but this was for Wardley's British heavyweight title. So I hope he got it. Did he? Fair. That's up in the air.
I only watched the
Arthur one.
The Bivol one.
Yeah, so Bivol and Beterbiev. So Dimitri won. I love that name, you know. Dimitri Bivol. Is someone in there to help me? Because why are you coming in when I've struggled for all of it now? Where were you when I needed you 10 minutes ago?
Y'all will have to wait until Emmanuel returns to basically.
Yeah, because this is
child. Because I watched that fight because the world was watching it, and there was a little dialogue going on in the Discord at the same time, innit?
Oh, nice.
I'm watching. I'm thinking, but this guy's, he's punching more. But the other guy's landing more, right? And Bivol, his face is kind of swollen up, right? And I guess that speaks to the strength of Bertibiev. But he might just have a soft face.
So Bivol won?
No, he should have won. I saw him as winning.
Okay, so his punches were what was landing?
Yes, his was landing more.
Oh,
even
but
though he
soft
didn't
face.
throw as more.
But soft face was throwing more punches.
No, soft face was getting the punches.
Oh, yeah, because Bivol was obviously... Oh, yeah.
And even at the end, when the ring announcer was going to say what he was going to say, you could see that their team, Bertibiev's team, they weren't confident. They weren't confident that he was going to win.
So they were surprised.
And the other one was like, yeah, we did it. Because that's how I saw it.
Oh, that's sad though. You think you won and you didn't.
But it was a good match.
Okay, well, love that. This is great. That's it.
Yeah, we'll chop it up properly when it is Emmanuel up number 1, snake number 1 returns.
Not snake number 1.
It should have been number 2.
Those are your words. I don't know. I don't give anyone position. That should have been an issue. God forbid I have expectations. So I don't expect. I don't know nothing.
But you'll get a proper debrief rundown when it is he returns.
Yeah.
But I know what I watched, and I think Bivol took that. But it was a good game, good match nonetheless. Good bout. All right, wrap up.
Yes, please. Well, we spoke about a lot today. A lot happened. We did our Black History segment, and that was about John Edmonston and Yvonne Colley, I think her name is, something like that. That was great. So we talked about the drone attack in that killed 4 Israeli soldiers and has injured more than 60 people, which is sad. There was a man who was trying to attend a Trump rally and decided to have 2 guns, fake passports, and a magazine. If you've watched these shows where they be assassinating people, you know what the magazine is for. So he got arrested and whatnot. China as well. They're holding military exercises around Taiwan because they're giving them a stern warning. They're not playing about. We talked about, in our topic of the day today, What You Saying? We talked about designer babies and choosing a race. Is that a step too far? There was a lady who got IVF, single white woman, decided to get IVF, and she decided to get a black sperm, and she's got a mixed race child now who she's hoping will live a racism-free life because she don't see color. She didn't say that. That was just me. Also, King Charles. So Alex Salmond, unfortunately, has passed away. Did he pass away? Yeah, he did. He passed away. And King Charles and Sir Keir Starmer sent their love and light. And Keir Starmer's out here doing some work for the UK at the moment. He's earning his salary. And there will be an inquiry into Dawn Sturgis, who had the whole Russian poison Novikov disguised as a designer perfume bottle. So all that inquiry is going on. In Word and Road today, we talked about Wanda Smith, who sadly passed away, so RIP. Talked about Chunks, telling users to stop asking him questions about the Philly situation. It's an ongoing case, and y'all not gonna get him wrapped up. Ari Lennox is taking the time off social media, living the dream that I one day aspire to live. R. Kelly's daughter has she shared that he unfortunately, sadly essayed her when she was a kid. And we talked about pictures of Stormzy and Victoria Monet. We're viral. We also had some very interesting dilemmas today, so please help people out. Give them some good advice. If you can, in the comments, that would be very, very helpful. It's a lovely man who is worried about his son who gets teased and how he can help him. And a lovely lady whose children have white friends and she doesn't want to be Diana Ross. So help that woman not be Diana Ross, okay? And a man has been shot dead, unfortunately, in East London. And the police are asking anyone with information to kindly come forward. Elon Musk is still trying to go to space and that and do them things up there. And yeah, unfortunately, there's an Israeli attack on a school that was used as shelter, displaced Palestinians, and 15 people have been killed, at least. Yeah, man. That's basically it. Everyone have a great day. Please don't forget to follow us on social media. The day after TNB, we are on Discord. We are on X. We are on TikTok. And we are on Instagram. What else? Any other announcements of anything else?
26th of October is the Wellness Day for the women in our community.
Nice.
Women's Wellness Festival, SPRC. Dr. Amani, our prestigious doctor, is going to be speaking there. You can get some yoga in. You can get some Amapiano hit classes in, and mindful and mental health workshops and all that kind of stuff. Make sure and get your ticket. Get your ticket here. Ticket.
Get your tickets.
All right, that is it. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Bye.